What's up, everybody? Chopper Doobie here, bringing you another YouTube video today. Today we're going to be talking about metals in Valheim, how to mine them and how to smelt them. One quick thing before we get started here, though, guys, is that you will have to have had killed the first boss, Eikthyr, and made a pickaxe with his hard antler. But without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Okay guys, so today we're going to be talking about mining and smelting metal in Valheim today. Just a quick little beginner's guide for you on how to get started. A couple of quick things before we do. Maybe some tools that you'll want to bring is you'll definitely want to have the antler pickaxe, which you get from killing the first boss. You want a stag breaker, which is a weapon that you can craft. It's really good in the dungeons that we'll be getting into later. And then you'll also have to make a charcoal kiln and a smelter. Now, two things about the kiln and the smelter is that you do need what are called surtling cores here. You need 5 for the smelter and 5 for the kiln. These are things you get in burial crypts in the Black Forest that we'll get to in just a minute here. Okay guys, so eventually you'll come across something that'll look like this in the ground. You'll either see something like this, or there will be another type of dungeon that'll spawn. It looks sort of like a building, I guess you could say. I'll show you guys after we get through this what it would look like. But of course, once you get in the dungeon, you just go in and you can enter the burial chambers. Now, the reason I say you want a stag breaker is because these places can get a little scary and dangerous. They also can get very dark. So yeah, see, like there's a skeleton right there. But these are nice because this thing has some knockback on it, which makes it a lot easier to fight. They also can damage stuff through walls. So once you're in the dungeon here, you're just going to want to navigate through. Usually there's a couple different ways you can go. So you'll be looking for things like these called surtling cores. There's these red sparkly cubes that are all around. These is what we'll need. Of course, you'll stumble upon things like chests and stuff on the ground, so always make sure you're looking out for stuff on the ground. There's these yellow mushrooms you can pick up. There's also like rubies. Look, see, there's a core right there. That's what you're looking for. Usually there's a lot more that spawn, so hopefully we'll find some more. But yeah, like I said, guys, you just want to look for those surtling cores there, and then once you have 10, you might have to go to more than one dungeon before you get back. This right here, you guys, this is the other type of dungeon that you might find lying around in the Black Forest that you can go into for surtling cores as a burial crypt. So keep an eye out for this or that first one. Okay, so once you're back to your base, guys, what you're going to want to do is drop off the cores in your inventory. Do whatever you got to do. Make sure you clear your space because now we're going to go mining for some copper and some tin. And those ores are heavy, so you want to make sure you have as much inventory space as you can. So once you got your inventory clear and you're ready to go back out, you want to head back out to the Black Forest biome, and that's where you'll find your tin and your copper. Oh, there's some. Yeah. So yeah, you'll want to run around the shoreline, guys, until you come upon one of these here. This is what tin deposits look like. You'll just mine it, and then it'll pop out of the ground. Usually every time you mine a tin deposit, you do get tin ore out of it. You'll get stone and tin. So when you're mining for tin or looking for tin, just run around the shores or the shores of water sources in the Black Forest, and you'll find a bunch of tin. Now, the other kind of deposit you'll be looking for in the Black Forest is a copper deposit. This is what they look like. They are just basically big rocks that spawn into the ground like this. It's kind of easy to miss them. A good way to tell if you find coppers, you can see these little like shiny little copper pieces sticking out. They do look just like other flat stones that are in the ground like this. These, if you mine them, will just turn to stone, so don't mine these. Make sure when you're trying to mine copper, you're looking for a shiny rock like this with copper at the side. Let's see. A couple of other things to note about copper too is that these veins are very big, so when you're mining it, don't be afraid to tear up your map a little bit and just kind of mine around, because as you can see, this one keeps going into the ground a lot. So if we mine out around it, we can try to find where it actually stops and start mining from there. These veins are huge. They can take upwards of a day in game time to go mining through it. So make sure that you do have a lot of space in your inventory. One other thing I might recommend is even making a little crafting bench and some storage here by the deposit for you to put copper in to come back to later. Another quick note about mining copper too, guys, is that you won't always get copper ore when you mine it. A lot of times it will just break into stone. So make sure you do take the time to try to mine the entire deposit before you stop with one. Oh, another real quick tip I want to add to, guys, is if you can, I do recommend killing Eikthyr maybe more than once, just so you can make yourself a second pickaxe, because they do tend to break pretty easily. So that way you can just stay out and mine a little bit longer if you have to. But eventually you will get close to being full on space, so you'll have to run back to your base. And that is where I'll show you what we can do with the ore that we've just mined. Okay, guys, so once you are back at your base, what you'll want to do is you want to make sure you have some wood on you also. That's why I'm a little over encumbered right now. Make sure you have some wood. You want to add the wood into the charcoal kiln so you can start turning that into coal. And then what you want to do is take the ore that you have and you want to add it into your smelter. Your ore goes into the smelter on the left side. And then coal will go in on the right side, and then you'll just have to wait for the ore to pop out of the smelter. And bam, you got your first piece of copper. Now, once you guys do pick up your first piece of copper, you will then get the unlock to be able to craft what is called a forge. The forge is great. It's going to be what lets you make metal weapons and items and stuff. So you can make a forge over here. Put it anywhere under shelter, of course, because it's just like a workbench. You need to be under shelter to be able to use it. Once you use the forge, all you'll have unlocked at first is how to make bronze. You can make bronze in a single stack of just 1 with 2 copper and 1 tin. Or you can make a stack of 5 with, of course, 10 copper to 5 tin. So with that being said, make sure you take a lot of time to make copper and tin, because you will need a lot of it. You will need a lot of bronze. Once you make your first piece of bronze, then you'll get the access to the rest of this bronze gear, like the cultivator for farming, the bronze axe, which you'll need to get fine wood, which we'll use later on to make portals in the game. This is a new kind of weapon. You can make bronze arrows, the bronze armor, bronze mace. All of this stuff comes available once you make that first piece of bronze. And with that, guys, we'll call the guide there. I hope this really helped you out with learning how to start with metal and mining. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you can make the farther you get with the game, so don't be afraid to craft anything new that comes up in your inventory or crafting menu. Again, if you did enjoy the guide, make sure you leave a like and comment in the video with what you'd like to see me make next. Please subscribe to the channel for more. I'll catch you guys next time.